What's up, mod? Today we'll discuss Modern Warfare maps. Do we really need to bring old maps back to Modern Warfare? If we're talking about Modern Warfare, the current maps are very good. Very good. More than good than any previous Call of Duty. These people that ask for old maps in every Call of Duty game, in my statistics with the previous old maps that released in different CODs, particularly the old maps from old Call of Duties, had mixed reviews. It had mixed reviews about them bringing back into newer CODs, and it's supposed to be old maps were meant for old games. They were designed for the type of game it was made for. Like in Call of Duty 4, because the kill streaks and abilities were limited on that game, like Shipment was somewhat okay to play with 6v6, but when it was brought to the current Modern Warfare, people complain about the spawns and getting killed instantly, which what it's supposed to be in Call of Duty 4. In Modern Warfare 2019, you're dealing with more kill streaks, a variety of kill streaks and enhanced ability. It's rather not fitting anymore with the game, because the gameplay of Shipment was meant for Call of Duty 4 mechanics. And if you remember Call of Duty 4, it only had 3 types of kill streaks. It had the UAV, the airstrike, and the chopper. So you're dealing with the kill streaks are just like the cherry on top of your cake, and it's not really that deadly, and it's all about precision with your aiming. The new Modern Warfare maps are already great. It gave more players room and freedom, height advantage. Everything they hated about Infinite Warfare maps are gone, that were too big and lacking of routes to flank. It's like they're starting to listen to the critics of Ghost and Infinite Warfare. It created into this advancement of COD, and it evolved into this huge warfare. And war, it's supposed to be huge. And what I liked about the maps are it's huge, but they created those maps with well-designed thoughts to every area of the map. And my point is, why should we even bring back older maps if the newer maps are already good? And why not make them more new maps and let the developers' creativity shine? Let old maps be in old maps, old games. Because if we keep doing this, we'll let them tolerate making half-ass maps, and they're gonna forget their creativity and just recycling every map of every COD. And just like you all always have complained in every single Call of Duty, and now they've now in this new Call of Duty, they've really innovated. And there's a lot of people still have a lot to complain. And why can't you just be grateful? They're trying their best to put up to your standards. Come on, man, just be grateful. And let's take a look of another one of the old maps people want to have back, and it's Rust. So Rust was very, very specific. If it came along with Modern Warfare, it would be one of those gunfight maps where you kill the opponents in 2v2 or 1v1. And Rust is very good in those situations. But when it comes to TDM or FFA, you really want you want to fuel up your KD ratio. Then it's going to be really tough on you. And when it's tough, that's where the complaint starts, and not only for you, but also for those who are new with Call of Duty. Now, who haven't played the original Modern Warfare Rust, and that they didn't know what kind of map is Rust, and most of those complaints with the new Rust in Modern Warfare 2019 was about the camping and getting killed with grenades and explosives and etc. And for me, those weren't maps to play competitively, and most often those maps were made by creative developers. Jason West, that wanted Modern Warfare 2 to be fun and not too competitive, and Modern Warfare 2 was about carnage, teamwork and fun, and they want you to feel badass. And those were the 2009 and 2000 days of Call of Duty. Now, again, these specific maps had purposes to each of their specific themes. Now, different games and different maps, like Infinite Warfare, the maps were larger and higher. There were not a lot of routes to take, but because of the boost jump and boosters of the players, it creates a height advantage that will make the player evade from the enemy, and other abilities like wall running. And though it's fitting to its futuristic nature, bringing it to modern setting would totally make it a lot more difficult and weird to play. Now we're not, and it's very obvious that we're not bringing Infinite Warfare maps into newer Call of Duties in a boots on the ground environment. You would also remember of Call of Duty 4, where its maps are sized to small to medium areas. It's because of its kill streaks. Making more fitting for a close quarter engagements. That's why Modern Warfare 2 promoted larger maps, because of the AC-130 and Chopper Gunner kill streak in Modern Warfare 2. So Call of Duty 4 had medium-sized maps because of its limited kill streaks, and Modern Warfare 2 had bigger maps because of its huge kill streaks. Making people maneuver more and planning out their attack with stealth to give the players cover from destructive kill streaks. So it's balanced. Although designing maps are not easy, they take a lot of effort to make, from designing and balancing every detail of the map. That's why they might take an extra cash for you to pay them for their hard work from the developers, and aka DLC maps. And you may have paid the $60, but believe me, that $60 was already the effort they gave on that game. Yeah, some of the Call of Duty games, cheated on you. You didn't have justice with your $60, but they promised us more than it was advertised. But if you think that you had a ton of fun and your $60 was worth spending on it, then paying for the DLC would really motivate those developers to continue their good work. And Call of Duty needs to innovate and use its creativity by letting the developers shine through their maps, through the maps they make, and by not trying to cut down their work, and that tolerates half-done maps. And they keep recycling if we're just trying to bring back older maps. So what we need are new maps, and that we love now, and it'll be a model of a perfectly balanced map that will inspire other developers of Call of Duty to make. If you remember, by the time Call of Duty came, we weren't asking to bring back Call of Duty 2 maps. In Modern Warfare 2, we weren't asking for Call of Duty 4 maps, but they delivered it. It came, to remind us that those maps are the inspiration why we have better maps in Modern Warfare 2. So older maps should just be an inspiration, because to make better maps in the newer Call of Duty. So newer Call of Duty maps should be a successor of the older maps from Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty 4, and it should be, the older maps should not be a replacement of the new maps, just to cover up the hard work of those developers. But it's everyone's opinion, and you're entitled of your opinion and your constructive criticism. It brings out the best of everyone's work, especially to Infinity Ward. So we should respect them, and kudos to Infinity Ward for bringing great maps in this current Modern Warfare.